How are you? Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be doing first year registration for incoming first year students at UPEI. I guess we'll start with a bit about ourselves. My name is Rebecca Dawson. I work as a first year recruiter and advisor at UPEI. I graduated from the Business Administration program in 2016, so 2 years ago. I did 2 study abroads. I did co-op. I was also on student union. I was pretty involved, I would say. And next to me is the wonderful Hope Nestor.
Hi guys, I'm Hope Nestor. She's got a very impressive portfolio. I'm here as a graduate student now, and I also work in academic advising, first year academic advising and recruitment. So we work together on a day-to-day basis, and we had 2 kind of different experiences at UPEI. So we're welcome to all kinds of questions from graduate students or undergraduate.
For sure. And behind the scenes, we have the tech guru himself, Neil Gillis. Thank you, Neil, for being here. Which you'll only see his face if something goes wrong. So hopefully you will not meet him today. Okay, so a couple housekeeping things to get started. In order to register in classes today, you will have had to pay your $100 tuition deposit. If you haven't already paid that, you can do so by visiting upei.ca/pay deposit. As well, you would have gotten an email once you have been accepted to UPEI, and that would have the link to go on and pay that deposit. So there's kind of a couple of options. You can also come to the registrar's office and pay as well.
And in order to pay your tuition deposit, you're going to need your username and password, which is part of those emails that you would have received upon getting admission to UPEI.
For sure. Your username at UPEI, which we'll be using today, is a combination of your first and last name. For example, it also might have a middle initial or some numbers on the end. So for example, my name is Rebecca Dawson. My UPEI username is RJ, which is my middle initial, Dawson. So RJ Dawson. You would have something similar. Hope's is H. Nestor, which is her last name. Your PIN number, which we'll be using as a password today, is a 4-digit number that you would have gotten, like Hope said, in an email when you got accepted. So those are 2 very important things that you're going to need in order to register, and as well that $100 tuition deposit would have needed to be paid before today if you're looking to register.
So we can get started.
Yeah.
We would encourage you guys to follow along on your computer. Even if you get one course registered while we're kind of on here, you can ask questions, and then you can maybe finish the registration process after we're done. We just really want to give you guys a base so you're prepped.
Yes, and a note that if you have any questions at all, or if you kind of want to go more in depth with some of the programs or course requirements, you can always email us at apply@upei.ca. So that's kind of the general email to get a hold of us in our office. And now I think we'll get started. So you can see a shot of what Hope will be doing on this computer here. The first thing that we're going to do is actually open 2 tabs, and both with the UPEI website. Perfect. So we're going to start with the first tab. We're going to be going back and forth later on, so it's important to have both of those open because we'll be going to another page on the second one later. So we're going to scroll down to the very bottom of the page. This is kind of a quick link to where we'll be registering. If you look at the About UPEI heading on the left-hand side of the bottom, there's kind of some general information there about UPEI, the history, our president, employment if you're looking for student jobs. But the 2 that we're going to be focusing on today are the My UPEI link, which is where we'll actually be registering for classes. It also is where you can pay for your tuition. You have information about exam schedules, convocation, Moodle, which we'll talk about a little bit later. It's all through this link. So this is kind of a really, really important link to remember because you'll be doing a lot of things through that. The bottom link is the campus map. If you're planning on coming for a campus tour, which please do, if you'd like to book a campus tour as well, you can do so by emailing the apply@upei.ca email. But that campus map will kind of show you where everything is laid out on campus at UPEI, as well as if you need to kind of figure out where your classes are on the first day. Okay, we're going to go over to the current students heading there, and underneath that, a couple of things to note as well. is your student email. So surprise, you have a UPEI email address. It is your username with @upei.ca added on to the end of that. So for example, my email is rjdawson@upei.ca. You can access this by clicking on this link as well. It is a Gmail account, so you can access it through just going on to gmail.com. I think that's about it for this page for now. If you do have any questions, like I'm going to say repeatedly, just give us an email. As well, leave some comments, please. So we're going to hit My UPEI, and it'll come to a login page. This is where you're going to enter in your username, and then your PIN number will act as your password. Perfect. So you'll come to a page that looks similar to this once you have added your username and password. If you are having any issues, let us know. We will today be under the name Joe Panther, who is our select student for the day. He is a mock student for us to use, so we'll be getting to see some of the courses he has completed, as well as register in his first year classes today. A couple things to note on this homepage. Announcements. There will be general announcements that will show up here, things that apply to almost every UPEI student. For example, convocation is there now, tax forms will be there, exam schedules will go there, school closures will pop up there as well. On the right-hand side is the direct link to Gmail again, so you can actually access your UPEI email account by just clicking there. Moodle is right there. It's a bit of an odd word to hear for the first time, but Moodle you will be hearing every single day of your first week of classes. So that's something to get familiar with. It kind of acts as a platform for your professor to share information, coursework, as well as where you can submit assignments, complete exams online, and also just kind of get to know your classmates because they'll be all in that hub together. The tutor bank, it's super important if you're having some struggles with some of your classes. There is a bank of students who are in upper year courses in that same program who are doing exceptionally well and can help you kind of do a bit better in the class than you'd like to. I think that's it for this. We do have a question from Alex. He asks, if I am waitlisted for a course, do I have to keep on checking in or will it register me automatically? That is a fantastic question, and we will actually be covering waitlist a bit later on, but so that you know, you will be receiving an email on your UPEI account, and that will give you 24 hours to log on and register in that class. So your UPEI email account is very, very important because your professors will contact you on there. You'll receive word about school closures. If school does get canceled, we do have snow here. And thirdly, if you are on a wait list, that is where they contact you to let you know that you've gotten a seat in the class and you do have that 24-hour time slot to go in and hit register. It's not there to scare you. It's just there to move students along and get them into the classes that they want to be in. Okay, underneath important links on the right-hand side, underneath those icons, you're going to see new student orientation registration. This is really, really important. It's otherwise known as NSO. Woo! Yeah, woo! It's only for first-year students to attend, so it's exciting. It's a great way to meet new people. It's the full week before classes start, and it's organized by a fantastic second-year student, Callie Ross, is in the midst of scheduling everything out. It'll include tons of information about classes, supports that are on campus as well. There's events like a scavenger hunt around Charlottetown. There's a toga event where you create your own toga and kind of have fun with other first-year students. And lots of things throughout campus that whole week, so it's cool. Also, a book club, if you're interested in that. I'm running that, so join that one. Underneath that, we find UPEI forms. There are two very, very important forms to note on here. The first one is enrollment verification form. That is the form that is your proof of enrollment at UPEI. So taxes, banking, your parents might need it, as well as student loans need to know that you are a student at UPEI, and that's the verification form that you will need. Underneath that, we have program declaration or change form. If you are interested in changing your program or your major at UPEI, you can do so electronically by filling out that form. So you can do that right now if you would like. Oh, and Alex follows up. If I am waitlisted with 7 people, am I likely to get in? It depends. There's a lot of movement in a lot of first-year classes because people are constantly changing their courses and their programs, so it's hard to say. We do recommend if you are waitlisted and classes start, go to the class if you're still interested in taking it, and you can always talk to the professor about kind of the movement in the class and what they expect. But it's hard to say whether or not you will get in with 7 people or not, because some classes have a lot of movement, whereas others are pretty stable. So it's kind of an interesting question in that sense. Is there a deadline for registering courses? There is a deadline. You have up until the first 2 weeks, the last day of the second week of classes, to add or drop classes. With that being said, if you are interested in taking a particular program or particular courses are filling up, which you're going to see here in a couple minutes when we start registering. So the sooner that you register for classes, the sooner that you have, the more options in terms of time that you can take classes, and the more options for classes, because some are full. So, perfect. So yes, the 2 forums. We're going to scroll over to the left side of the page now where it says Student Toolbox. There's some important stuff right here. The first one, Student Finance. That's where you can see if you've gotten any scholarships, where you pay for your tuition, which is quite important, where you can see what you owe, you can monitor your balance, everything's within that Student Finance tab. So this My UPI really encompasses everything that you need. Underneath that is Student Planning, which we're actually going to be going into here in a couple minutes to register for your classes. So add-in and drop-in classes are all within this, so we'll go back to that. Underneath is your official transcript. If you need to see the courses that you've already completed at UPEI, that's your transcript is right there. Your course catalog we'll be using later on today. This course catalog contains every single course that's available to you to take at UPEI. So it has a full list. If you can't find a course manually, it's always within the course catalog if it is offered. Some frequently asked questions, as well as some tax information, which may not seem important now, but it will be very, very soon. And we're going to go into the Student Planning tab, and you're going to find kind of the same headings there, and we're just going to go into Student Planning once again. So you have 2 options when you get to this page. You have the View Your Progress, or you have the Plan Your Degree and Register for Classes. For now, we're going to hit option number 2, which is Plan Your Degree and Register for Classes, so you can see where your classes are actually going to go. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to load, but that's no problem. We just wait it out.
Try not to get dizzy.
Exactly, try not to get dizzy. Once you're on this page, you'll look. Your page will look something very similar to this. You can see that Joe Panther has no classes scheduled. Once you begin to schedule classes, it'll actually show up in this calendar view, so you can see what your week is going to look like each week of the semester at UPEI. So it's very visual, it's easy to see, easy to add drop, which we're going to do in a minute here. The first thing that we're going to do, though, is next to, it might say 2018 fall semester, it might say 2018 summer semester, like Joe's page. There's a minus and a plus sign. We're going to hit the plus sign, and we're going to add both the fall 2018, which he already has, and then hit add term. And then we're going to do that, repeat that process, and make sure that you have the winter 2019 and add term. If you're like Joe and you don't see it listed there, that's because you already have the option and it's on your account. So like Hope is doing now for Joe, you can use those arrows there to go in between the semesters. Today we'll be registering in both the 2018 fall semester and the 2019 winter semester, because you are able to register for both right now. So why not? Right?
Right.
All right. So there is a tab at the top that says Student Planning. This is kind of your go-to place to go back and forth between the pages of choosing classes, seeing your degree, and also seeing the courses that you're going to be in each semester like we are right now. So to see your progress at UPEI and the program that you applied for, we're going to hit My Progress. Awesome. Perfect. So Joe is in the Bachelor of Business Administration program, BBA. We're going to scroll up to the top for a second. Your program should be listed right here as a BBA. If you have switched your majors already or switched programs, you'll have the option of an arrow next to that, and you can go in between those programs back and forth. So if you, for example, started off applying in the arts program and now are taking business and filled out that form to change programs, you'll have that arrow option. A couple things to note before we start adding classes. there's a couple of things over here under the at a glance. Your GPA will be listed there as you complete courses at UPEI, as well as the catalog year, which for Joe Panther is 2018. Yours might say 2017. That's just if your program changes in your third or fourth year or even your second, you adhere to the rules of the program in that year. Okay, you'll see Joe Panther has a couple of bars there. They are green, that means he's completed those programs, but you might not have any yet. Those bars will increase as you complete, register, and plan courses at UPEI. Okay, and we're going to scroll down a bit. If you are undeclared, this might look a little bit different, but that's okay. You're going to have to go to the course catalog, which will show you how to do to add courses. But for Joe right now, he's in the environmental program, so it actually lists all of the courses that he needs in order to graduate with that program. So they're all listed on this page here. As you scroll down, they're right here. Amazing. And Joe's completed some courses. He is a go-getter, and he's questionably in his second year. We're not sure. Okay, so a couple options you have on this page if you want to make registration a bit easier. If you are undeclared, you won't be able to do this step, but that's okay. If you do have a major, then you can do something that's called Load Sample Course Plan. So we're going to add this course plan as a biology student. Joe's not under biology, but we have the option of actually adding a program on here to see those courses. So we're going to choose the biology program. If he were to want to choose the BBA program, you can actually just click that and it should be listed there, but for today's purposes, we're going to do biology, and you can hit preview plan. This shows all of the required courses that you are taking in this program, both first semester and second. So the fall 2018 semester and the winter 2019. So if you want to scroll and look at those, for sure you can. And then we're going to hit load. Woohoo! Good job. And then from here, it should take you back to this page, but if it hasn't, up where the student planning tab is, you're going to go to plan and schedule, and this will take you back to this first page that we entered whenever we went to the site. So we're going to scroll over to the fall 2018 semester. If you did load that sample course plan, there should be all those courses listed on the left-hand side for your fall semester that are required to take. And what we're going to do is we're going to start planning a course. One thing to note is that if you are taking science courses, oftentimes there is a lab component additional to the course. So for Joe, he'll be taking both bio and chem and have a lab to take with those as well. So the lab, unfortunately, does not count towards credit, but it is required in order to complete the course. So to view these in our calendar view, we're going to hit View Other Sections. And sections are just the different classes that are offered for that semester. There's 3 different ways that you can take classes at UPEI. You can take them 3 times a week, like these 2 bio classes, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 50 minutes. You can take them twice a week for Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday for an hour and 15, an hour and 20, or you can do it once a week for a 3-hour class. So either way you do it, the class time is going to be 3 hours a week, but you can just do it the 3 different ways. Some classes will offer them in all the 3 different ways, whereas this bio class, for example, is only offered 3 times a week at 2 times. So Joe Panther has the choice of doing it at 10:30 or he can take it at 11:30. What would Joe like to do today?
Joe's an early riser, I think, today.
Joe is an early riser, and he is going to do the 10:30 to 11:20. If you choose a class, you can just click on the course code in the calendar view, and then this page will pop up, and you can hit Add Section.
And it tells you the instructor, where it's going to take place, what time, and the dates.
As well as the seats available. Perfect. Amazing. Would you mind exiting out of the chem lab? And then we'll show that as well.
Sorry?
Just take the chem lab off there. And
Oh, I see, yeah.
Perfect. So like we said earlier, the bio class also requires a lab component. So we're going to also view other sections in the bio lab. So this will show all the sections. One thing to note, see how these are all red? That means that the classes are full. So if you can see page 1 of 2, some have actually 2 or 3 pages of classes that are offered. So make sure that you're checking to see if there's multiple pages if the courses are full. So there is a Thursday night class, and you're going to click that, and we're going to add that section. Also, hi, Ahmed. PI has always been my favorite place due to many reasons. Amazing. Mine too. So we have the class and the lab scheduled here. If you are completely fine with just taking one class and you're going to do the one bio in the lab and that's what you'd like to do, you have the option of hitting register. So there's 2 ways you can register for courses. There's a register button on each individual course. There's also a register now button above Saturday on the calendar view, which allows you to register everything planned on the calendar. One thing to note for science students, math students, anyone that has additional labs or tutorials for their classes, you're going to have to hit the register now button above Saturday in order to register, because the lab and the class need to be registered at the same time because they're required in order to take the class, you need to take the lab. To take the lab, you need to take the class. So, we'll hit register now and see how it's yellow now. It's very, very important. If it's yellow, it's only planned. And if this turns green, that means Joe Panther is now in a biology class. Boom! Yay! Go Joe! So Joe is officially a first-year student at UPEI, although he has taken many courses. So if it turns green, green means go, it's good. If they are yellow, that does not mean that you're in the class. It is only planned on your schedule. So we're going to move on to the chemistry class. We're going to hit view other sections. And you can see the one that conflicts with the bio class has a yellow warning sign next to it. That also means that there is a waitlist on that class, which is okay because Joe has bio during that time anyways. So what's Joe feeling? Does he want to take an 8:30? Does he want to put it right after biology?
No, he needs a break to get a snack. He's going 8:30.
Perfect. One thing to note is if you are putting classes back to back, there is a 15-minute break in between, and that is plenty of time to get to your next class. Campus is only a 7-minute walk from tip to tip, give or take the weather. So you should be fine doing classes back to back. Okay, so when we go to the chemistry class, the lab, you can see there's a yellow warning sign that has come up, and it's just saying that you need to take the chemistry lab in order to take the class, which we already know. So if you click on that warning sign, it'll take you directly to where that lab is in the course catalog. So instead of going through the entire course catalog trying to find it, this is kind of a quick link for you to add it in. We have 2 options when we get to these sorts of pages. We can view available sections, which I always recommend because you want to make sure that the course that you're wanting to take is offered in the semester you want to take it in. And you can view all of the ones that are available. For classes that there are multiple ones available and you're not sure how they fit in with your existing classes that you have planned, I recommend scrolling up to the top. And we're going to hit add course to plan adjacent to where the course code is. And we're going to hit the fall 2018 semester because that's when Joe is taking his chemistry course, and add course to plan. Amazing. And then we're going to go to plan and schedule once again to go back to that calendar view. So we're going to be kind of hopping around a little bit between that link. So if we scroll down, this left-hand side is all alphabetical order, so it should be quite easy to find the classes. We're going to hit View Other Sections. And you can see those ones are all full, but there is 2 pages. So we're going to see how this chemistry lab conflicts with the other one. There is something, there is always an additional lab component offered that looks like it's online, but it's just in place so it allows you to register in the class. So you can see we're adding the Chem 110 Lab 99. That's kind of just to allow you to register in the class for now, and they will offer more labs later on for you to register in. So when you register for an online class, it actually shows up on the bottom of the screen. Perfect. So some other things that he has a couple more classes to go through, but we're actually going to go to that second link since we opened 2 tabs to begin with. And we're going to go to the Programs tab next to Become a Student. This is kind of the old school way of kind of seeing what courses you should be taking at UPEI, which I did at UPEI. But it's a great resource so that you can kind of clarify the courses that are required in order to graduate with your program. We're going to go to the Faculty of Science and Biology for Joe, but if you are taking the business program, please go to the Faculty of Business link and go to the Bachelor of Business Administration, as well if you're taking history, please go to the Faculty of Arts and choose the history program. When you get to kind of the general page for that program, we're going to scroll down and you're going to see some tabs there. There should be tabs that say either major or specializations, course structure. Those types of links are the ones that you're going to want to hit. For bio, it's specialization. So if you scroll a bit on the bio page, each page has the suggested course sequence for year 1, 2, 3, and 4 at UPEI. So this is an awesome way to kind of see the classes that are required for you to take all in one place, in one hub. Another thing to note, you can see the biology 1310, 1320 there. Oftentimes classes that have consecutive course codes, you're taking the first part in the fall semester and the second part in the winter semester. As well as you'll see, for example, psychology 1010 and 1020, they are part 1 and part 2. So you'll do part 1 in the fall semester and part 2 in the winter semester. Another thing to note is UPEI coded courses. You are required in order to graduate from UPEI to take a UPEI level class. We do offer 3, but this year there's only 2 of them that are available in the fall and winter semester. UPEI 1010 is academic writing, so it's kind of an introduction to university level writing, essays, research papers, all of that kind of stuff. And UPEI 1030 is more so an introduction to university, so time management, scheduling, as well as study habits and resources that are available on campus. One thing to note is if you are interested in taking UPEI 1030, all of the courses are filled for both the fall and winter semester right now, so you will be doing what's called a waitlist. Instead of seeing the register button when you add it to your calendar view, it's going to say waitlist. And to go on that waitlist, you need to hit that button. And then they will, like we said earlier, they will email you to inform you whether or not you're off the waitlist, and then you have the 24 hours to register in the class. Also, if you are just tuning in, welcome to UPEI course registration. We are quite a ways through it, but please log on and follow along as best you can. So there's the bio requirements right there. We're going to go back to the plan and schedule. This is a great resource to go back and forth between your classes and make sure you're taking all of the correct things. So one thing to note is electives. You're going to hear that word quite a bit. Electives are just courses that are not required for your program requirements, but they are required in order to graduate. You are to take a number of electives in order to graduate with any program at UPEI. Some have more electives and some have less, but you do need to take some. So to find electives, we're going to go to the course catalog, which I had mentioned before, lists every single course that's available at UPEI. So if you scroll down here, it's in alphabetical order. You can see everything from accounting to psychology and writing. They're all listed there. To find electives, I recommend taking courses that you are genuinely interested in. Those are the courses you're going to do the best in. So for Joe Panther today, we are going to choose psychology as a potential elective. Whenever you hit on the program page, it takes you to all of the courses that are available in that program for the semesters that are available right now. So you can see the first 2 courses are coded with a 1 at the beginning, and if you scroll down a bit more, there are courses coded with 2, and if you scroll down even more, you'll see 3 and 4. Those are just the year of study, so the recommended courses for your first year are usually coded 1,000 level, second year 2,000, third year 3,000, and fourth year 4,000. That doesn't mean that you can't take a third year course in second year or a second year course in first year. They're just the recommended courses in order to graduate with all your requirements in the program. So we can see Psych 1010 is the very first course. There is a course description, so if you want to see what the course is all about, that's a good way to get a feel for it. We have the same 2 options that we had with the chemistry lab, so we can view available sections, which I highly recommend. You can see it's offered in the summer semester, which is right now, so you will likely not take it then, but you can see the heading for the 2018 fall semester, and then there are 3 courses listed underneath that at all different times and locations, and often different instructors and number of seats that are available in them. So for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to add course to plan and add it to our fall semester to see how it fits in with our existing chemistry and biology. One thing to note when you're looking for electives as well, if per se you have all of your courses chosen except for one in the winter semester, you have the option to use filters on the left-hand side of this page. So if you're looking for an elective only for the winter semester, you can hit the 2019 winter semester and it'll show you those that are available. If you are looking to take a psychology course in second semester, you can see that the requisites that's listed is that you need to take Psychology 1010 in first semester. You can take any course you'd like at UPEI if you meet the prerequisites for it as an elective. So just keep that in mind whenever you're going through. Some second, third, and fourth year require that you're in second, third, or fourth year standing in order to take them as well. And some competitive programs only allow those that have been accepted in them to take those classes. But other than that, it's kind of free for you to look through, take some time, and get a feel for the programs that you're most interested in. Okay, so we're just going to go back to plan and schedule to find that Psych 1010 course that we added in the fall semester as an elective, which is at the very bottom, and we're going to hit View Other Sections, and you can see there's a wide array of times that you can take this class. So all the dotted boxes are the classes. So you can see there is a Part 1 psychology section that's offered Tuesday, Thursday at 8:30 each day. You can see there's a Part 2 that's offered Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's right in between the chemistry and the bio. And then you can see there's a night class on Thursday, which unfortunately conflicts with the biology class. So for this one, Joe might want to space out his classes a bit more in order so that he can give time to each class and kind of not be rushing in between them. And he might want to go to the library after his Psychology 1010 class on Tuesday, Thursdays. So we're going to choose Psych 1010. Is that okay?
Joe?
For
yes,
Joe?
Yes.
Joe's into it? Okay. So we're going to add the Tuesday, Thursday class, and it'll be planned, so it'll be in the yellow. If we want to register for that class individually and not the chemistry right now, we can actually scroll on the left-hand side down to where register is and hit that one individually. That's also where you'll find the waitlist button if you want to go on a waitlist. Yeah. So that, I think, is an introduction to registration at UPEI. Again, thanks for tuning in. If you do have any questions at all, feel free to email our office at apply@upei.ca. Anything else, Hope?
No, I think you did a great job.
Thank you. And I think that's it for us for now. Again, questions, please let us know. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this helped you. And I think that's it.
Yeah, we'll see you in September.
See you in September. Big thanks to Neil for helping us out. You didn't get to see him today, but that's a good thing because that means everything went smoothly. Perfect. Have a great night.
Okay.
See you in the fall.
Bye.
Bye.